Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Bob. My name is Bob. I'll be your dungeon master for tonight's episode of Curse of Strahd. Thank you for waiting for us. We had to get some people out of Red Lobster's parking lot, and also realized that everybody's also not in the right place. But we'll get everybody situated in just a moment. How are we doing? We've got Tim, Michelle. Oh man, out of order. Stefano, Andrew. Very hard to.
Oh, we're all switched.
Yeah. All right, so all of you have to act like the person in your name placard right now. So the question I have for everybody tonight, and this is going to be in a second, I have a couple of other updates, is going to be what are you excited for as the warm weather starts rolling? Here in the New York tri-state area, we've got, it was 50 something degrees today. Finally, a little reprieve from the cold. And I welcome all the YouTube chat to join us in this question. What are you excited about the winter coming to a close, springtime blooming? Let's start with Tim, or should I say Michelle?
Yeah, well, I'm excited to go to Red Lobster a whole bunch now that the weather is warm. And oh, I'm not Tim anymore. Would you look at that?
Oh,
That's spot on, though. That's what I'm ready for.
I figured. What, Tim, what else are you excited for?
Red Lobster is the top of it. I want to try these cheddar biscuits everyone's talking about. Like,
There you
sitting
go.
in Red Lobster in the cold is not the same experience. It's not the same dining experience. It's not the same D&D experience. You got to sit in a warm to hot Red Lobster parking lot, and that's when you get peak dining and D&D experience. D&D.
Is that during Shrimp Fest, Unlimited Shrimp Fest, or is that?
They got rid of that, which is
Oh, they
Yeah.
did.
That
understandable.
made them go
Yeah.
bust. They went
Yeah.
bankrupt because of Shrimp Fest. I mean,
Oh.
they didn't, but
That's a shame.
you should read this. You should read the story about why they did Shrimp Fest. It'll be impressive because they were
Ooh.
basically bought by a company that fishes shrimp.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like a
Damn.
late stage capitalism nightmare, the whole thing. But Red
Oh,
Lobster's
man.
back. We're safe. I'm back, baby. We're so back.
And anything outdoorsy? I know, Tim, you're an outdoor kind of guy. What do you like to do in the springtime as the warm weather approaches?
Like really anything outside. Looking forward to paddling more, a lot of canoeing, and being in Massachusetts.
Oh.
Going to spend some time out on the Charles and the Bay, in a boat.
Awesome. Awesome. And now let's jump down to your alter ego, Michelle. What do you like to do as the winter is ending?
I'm like I don't know, when I think of the warm weather coming, just at a very, very basic level, I'm excited to just be able to go like exit the house without needing to put on like 20 layers of things. Just like, here's my t-shirt, and it's also my outside clothes. And just like getting outside and it's already pleasant. I mean, I like layers, don't get me wrong. I love getting cozy in my layers, but the ease of warm weather and going out whenever you want. I love it.
Yeah, I agree because I feel like I've got it now. It's like the point of winter where, it's everybody's blasting heat inside, so you don't want a sweatshirt. You got to take that off. Too hot. You go somewhere else, it's freezing. You got to bundle up. You got to carry all these things with you. It's so annoying. So I agree with you. I'm 100% on board.
Yeah. Although I
Um,
guess now it's the opposite. When once it gets to summer, it's like hot outside and then people blasting AC inside. It's the
That's true.
tundra. Anyway, what are you gonna do?
Isn't that life, huh? You're never happy.
Mhm.
By the way, I
Wow.
just got some, I guess a different point of view in the chat. Joy, longtime member and patron of the channel, and somebody else actually just posted it too. I'm not sure who said it was 80. No, that was Joy. Yeah. Anyway, Arizona. Oh no, that's where it was. Yes, it was Jay Tyler. Arizona. Summer's coming with heat and hell. So yeah, I guess it could be very different depending on where you are, even just in the U.S. This may not be a good thing. Warming up may not be good. Andrew, what about you? What are you excited for?
Well, at work, I'm excited for Easter specifically. At work today, the first Cadbury's cream egg was sighted, so I'm excited for Cadbury's cream eggs to come back.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're right. Some of the greatest chocolates, candies come around Easter
Right.
time. Right. Everybody's like all excited about Halloween or something like that. No. Easter's got the candy. So.
Right.
What about you, Stefano? I think I could guess it.
You can.
Okay.
I
won't guess
it's
it though.
very clear and very obvious.
I won't
This
guess
winter
it.
has not been the best winter weather for one of my favorite things that I like to do. What is that? What's that about?
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's been a great winter for Dungeons and Dragons.
Do you want me to guess?
Yeah, you said you could guess.
It's got to be
Go
disc.
to music festivals.
No, it's got to be
is.
disc.
It
Disc
is
golf.
disc
Come on,
golf.
it's disc golf, 100%.
It's disc golf.
Yeah, go disc golf. Yeah.
Yeah. I went out on Sunday. There was slush on the ground. It was
Whoa.
fine. It didn't matter because it was like 42 degrees. I was very happy. 42 degrees and sunny is not weather I've experienced at playing disc golf in a long time.
Yeah, I know. It's so nice to finally get to do those outdoor hobbies of yours. I know I want to play disc this summer. We're gonna go, and we're gonna
Awesome.
take pictures to make sure everybody knows it happened.
What are you doing in March?
Our spring break
Yeah,
disc.
lots
do
of
it.
disc.
Let's do it.
It's going to be 50 degrees and sunny.
It's happening. It's happening, everybody. Check. You know where you could check? You could check Instagram and Facebook and social media because I'll post it there. Links down below in the description. And everybody, some other announcements here on the channel. Vecna, Eve of Ruin continues tomorrow. That's chapter 3. You'll see Stefano and Andrew as part of it. And then chapter 6 is right around the corner. Did I say chapter 3? I meant chapter 5. Chapter 6, though, is right around the corner because in a few short weeks, we'll be introduced to a brand new group and a brand new chapter, just like we've been doing for the last few months. So stay tuned with everything Vecna. Go down to the playlist on our homepage. You can check that out. And who knows, he'll show up again here in the Vecna Eve of Ruin campaign. But for right now, we're going to start with Curse of Strahd. Are you ready to play?
I am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Just
Yeah.
barely.
Do it.
Barely. And a couple of last questions here in the chat. We got Chris Mogan says, what chapter is Mohag in? Mohag, of course, everybody's favorite NPC from Keep on the Borderlands. You're going to have to check that out on Wednesdays. So no spoilers yet. And Jay Tyler says, the leg healed. Yeah, actually, one thing I forgot to tell you what I'm excited about. I know this sounds weird. I'm excited to go out and do some yard work because I haven't done it all last summer. I didn't get a chance to do it. We had somebody come and cut the grass and stuff like that, but there's a lot of things out there to do. And, it feels like time for me to go back out there and kind of be the master of my domain. I'm excited to do that. I will probably not be excited once it gets to the summer and it's hot, but
Yeah, right.
but my leg is good enough to do some yard work. So excited to get it back out there. All right, here we go. Going into grayscale. What do you think?
Terrible.
Yes, please.
Do it. Let's
I
do
would-
it.
I would like to
look
say
at
color.
that. Crisp,
Looks
crisp,
beautiful.
crisp.
Feels like spring. Feels like spring. All right. So last time we played, we had quite a adventure because you entered into an agreement with the Keepers of the Feather to go to the Voctor house and spy on Lady Voctor, or at least find some sort of damning evidence that she has been in league with Strahd that you could make public. If this is possible to make public with Strahd, then perhaps the people here would overthrow her and therefore spoil Strahd's plans for having some sort of steward that's in league with him, and Lady Voctor especially. It would be a more natural revolt instead of outsiders like you trying to take over the town, or that wasn't something you're really interested in. I also think in general, none of you want to lead this town or any of these towns. This place is not really you want to get home. So I think that was the conversation summed up, that you would agree to find some sort of damning evidence. Now, when you talked to Lady Voctor the last time, prior to all the orphanage situation, you know that she, at the very least, didn't mind that Strahd had come in here, and she has now taken and assumed the role of some sort of a governing faction, both her family and all of her servants and people that follow her. They became like almost a secret police within the town. So you've now left Vallaki with Evgeny, your friend who has promised to take you to Kresk, and I think Canas asked right at the end, as you were leaving Vallaki for maybe the last time, who knows, that you wanted to see if there was a old abandoned tower out in the west, somewhere between Vallaki and Kresk, because that is where Rictavio told you to go. So I think we're ready. Everything y'all set, Stefano? You
Yeah,
have a question?
that is correct.
Okay.
I was asking about the tower.
The tower. So, here we go. Yevgeny, on the road. It's now getting later in the evening. You've been traveling for hours at this point. He says to you, "We will probably need to rest at some point. I think it would be good if we rest here at the side of the road." And you look and you can see you're at a place. It's an intersection. You can see the intersection comes to like a big X, and it branches to the northeast, the northwest, the southwest, and the southeast. The lower half, though, of a wooden signpost thrusts upward at an angle near the eastern elbow of the intersection. Top half of the sign, featuring arms pointing in four directions, lies in the weeds on the floor nearby. So the signpost has been destroyed, or at least something broke it. So you approach and you can see the signpost, and Camillo goes, "Oh man, how will we know where to go?" Yevgeny says, "You think I need a signpost to tell us? I know the way to Presk." And he looks over at all of you. He says, "But here we will rest." So this point, it's like I said, getting towards approaching the evening, and you'll take a short rest on the road. He's hoping that he could get you to Kresk sometime with that. It'll be nightfall when you get there, but you left, earlier in the day, so he's hoping he can get you there by the end of the night. But
while we're taking a short rest, could I investigate the signpost and knowing where we came from and like very general geography? Could I? Is he generally leading us the right direction? I have no reason to doubt him, but like, is he going way off?
You can give me a survival check, although I will certainly tell you that you're headed west. There's no...
Okay.
That wasn't too hard, yeah. Even though you can't see, like, the sun, generally speaking, even when it's cloudy and overcast, like, generally speaking, where the sun is setting.
Sure. 14 on survival.
Yeah. He's taken you, and remind me again, you have a actual map that Irina gave you of the lands of Barovia, correct?
Correct.
So let's go to the map, and we'll use a survival check, Tim, as a sort of like a map reading check. Let's see. Let's move you to the full map of Barovia. Okay. You should be seeing it on your Roll20 coming up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's move into that view here for our viewers. All right. So just to show you where you are, I'm going to zoom in pretty deep here. So you were in Vallaki, and this is the party token. You were here in Vallaki. In order to get to Kresk, you have to follow... yeah, that's it. You have to follow the old Svalich road, and it goes through a few different passes. So the first one was a lunar crossing. So you're here. Let's see. Oh, I don't know what just happened. Oh, okay, I'm good. Right here. This is the 4 crossings right here. All right. So you can see this is called the Luna River Crossroads. It makes sense as to where you are. It does make sense that you're headed west. He says that he's going to travel to the north from this section, the northwest. This will take you towards that tower that you mentioned. And you can see it here on the map, actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any footnote or any sort of like key or legend to it, but it is sitting on a place called Lake Baratok. And I can actually make that visible for you. So let me do that. Yevgeny will tell you that that is Lake Baratok on the map. There you go. See it?
Nice. Yes.
There you go. So that's where you're headed. And he believes that you can get to that by dusk and then perhaps Kresk by the end of the night. So that would be the goal, to get there by like literally maybe midnight if you press on and move. But otherwise, you could decide to rest earlier. But he doesn't suggest you rest anywhere in these wooded areas. So like in the areas of like here between the lake and the crossroads, the Lunar Crossroads, and anywhere between another crossroads and Kresk. That would be super dangerous to rest there. So he doesn't suggest that.
Is
and
Kresk
then
on the map? Am I missing it, or is it just not on the map? I'm sorry.
Oh,
right here.
it's there.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, I don't know why I didn't see
Yeah.
that. Cool.
I
Thank
just made it visible.
God, that explains why I didn't see
Yeah.
it. Okay.
So is it
The-
getting dark now?
It's approaching the evening, but it's like late afternoon. So it will be
So we're
dark by
gonna
the time
carry
you
on then.
reach. It will be dark by the time you reach Lake Baratok, and it will be like midnight by the time you reach Kresk. He says to you, if you wanted to leave earlier, like we had planned, before dawn, then we could have made it there. But I follow you where you go. Tim, you also said you wanted to check out the signpost, right?
Just kind of generally with this map, it's now like very clear where we're going and where we're coming from. But no, that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, sure. Laurent goes over to the side of the road, brushing off the weeds and brush. You can see that there's a 4-signed post. You can see that the arms indicate Kresk, Krezk. Another one says Solenka Pass, which is spelled with a silent T, Tsolenka Pass. And that one, that's the second one. The third one reads Lake Baratok. And then the last one is Vallaki and Ravenloft.
Based on that, would I assume that southeast or southwest pass is Slenko Pass?
The south,
West to the bottom left.
yes, the Solenka Pass is based on your map and the direction you made with the 14. You could tell that Vallaki and Kresk would be to the east.
Yeah.
Northeast, right?
Mhm.
Lake Baratok to the northwest. Solenka Pass. Oh no, so I'm sorry. Solenka Pass and Kresk are to the southwest, which is the place. Yeah. So it's like would be going southwest. And then there's another one actually. So I lied to you. I didn't lie to you. I misread it. Kresk and Solenka Pass are on the same placard. Lake Baratok is on a placard. Vallaki and Ravenloft are on a placard. And then you see another one that says Berez, Berez, to the south east. So-
Evgeny, what is BRAS?
Oh, swamps. You don't want to go there.
Why would it be marked then? There must be something there.
Some people would want to go there, but I wouldn't. Dangerous place, Berez. The
Was
Luna
there a
River floods the area.
Was there a village there at some point that was drowned by the swamp?
Oh, maybe many years ago, long before my time.
And who rules this area?
Berez?
Yes.
Well, I know not. I would never travel there. He offers you all some food, some rations. If you have some, you could take them out. This will be a short rest. He doesn't let it linger too long. About 15, 20 minutes, and then he's ready to go. Get some water, some fresh water from the Luna River, and he's ready to head off. He says to you, you can fix the sign if you'd like, but I don't need it.
I'll take my best crack at trying to fix it. If I can even just jam it back into the ground. I'm no carpenter, but I can stab a post pretty good.
And
So,
as he
yeah,
does
maybe...
that,
Yeah, go ahead.
as he does that, I will tell everyone, as we fix this sign, we will fix this land. And you're all inspired by that and gain 8 temporary hit points.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
Too
Go
funny.
Rufus.
Yeah. So you fix the sign, Tim. You either fix it, in some sort of fashion, maybe bind it with some sort of rope or something. But at the very least, you can insert the signpost with the right directions on the ground next to the broken stand.
Nice.
All right. He says, to the north, and he starts to head this way. Please follow me. All right. So he's going to continue on north, if everybody's cool with that. Everybody roll me a d6, please.
Oh no.
That's not ominous at all.
That makes me a little bit nervous.
2.
Wow, high rolls, guys.
Oh boy.
Yes. You know we roll so high.
Well, this time we got a couple ones.
Yeah, the snake
You
eyes is
off
not a
today?
great look.
Mm.
A little off today, huh?
Still early.
Okay. All right. You go through the woods, and this is not the greatest trail. As you noticed, it said Lake Baratok, but, honestly, the path that you were on before looked like it naturally continued to the southwest. And Tim, Laurent is probably noticing this right away. This little footpath here has been overgrown. It's certainly not well traveled. Yevgeny seems to want to go this way. He was pretty certain of going this way anyway. So he's going this way, and he's moving at a relatively fast pace, but he stops, and he pauses, and he tells everyone to shh, be quiet, and get low, get low. Does everybody comply with his orders?
Should I roll to get low?
I get low.
Performance check.
Yeah, now you get low.
Can I cast? No, I don't want to use a spell slot. Never mind.
Okay. He says, I believe there are people up ahead.
Let's go and see them.
He starts to move slowly at Rufus's command, and you can see it looks like a group of people maybe making some sort of a camp. They do have camouflage on, actually. Luckily, you have the keen eyes of Yevgeny here. But there are four creatures. They look to be human, certainly. And like I said, their bodies are covered in furs. They've got all different sorts of like earthen tones, clothes, and they seem to have like paint on their faces, their arms that make them hard to see. Camouflage. Yevgeny says, mountain folk. They call these forests home. Sometimes they come down and hunt, and I believe they're here looking for a score.
Are they friendly?
Depends how much they have to eat.
Do we see them as they're making camp? Is there an indication that they're like making a fire for food or anything, or does it look like they're strictly setting up shelter?
Give me a perception check.
18.
Looks like they're setting up some small little shelters. Real simple, just for like maybe not so permanent, just for a night. They don't look like they have food, and they do look rather. I want to say they're not emaciated. They certainly look like they're strong, capable, but they don't look like they have been well fed.
Noted.
How much food do we have?
Yevgeny's like, I have some rations and some dried meats. I would hate to part with them.
Can we sneak past these people?
It is possible, but they are watchful. Irina says, I've heard stories when I was a child of these mountain folk. I believe they told these stories to scare the children, but from what I've heard, they have no qualms with cannibalism. Yevgeny says, there's always a truth to stories.
While we were walking over here, did we see any signs of wildlife, like deer, rabbits, that kind of thing?
Yes, there are some wildlife, whether it's birds and ravens. Obviously, you've seen, certainly. You actually have not seen too many ravens in this area, but you've seen smaller creatures, maybe like mice, field mice, things like that. I don't know if you've seen a nice fluffy little bunny, but maybe if there's a rabbit, it's a scarier looking one that's not like Thumper. You know what I mean?
Right.
More like the bunny from
Monty Python.
Holy Grail.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yes. Fierce.
Yeah.
And did we see about how many of them there are? Are we talking like
4.
similar group size to us, or?
There's 4, so you outnumber them because it's the 4 of you, Irina, Camilla, and Yevgeny. So there's 7 of you.
What do you suggest, Evgeny?
In my experience, I would probably just double back, go another way, but it's late. Perhaps we try to provide food as passage. How much food do you all have?
Good
And is it
question.
simply
That is-
rations?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I have any food.
What about wine?
I have 1 day of rations. No, 5 days of rations.
I also have 5 days rations.
Ah, Irina, do you have that champagne that I got you?
She does. Why? Yes, I do, Rufus.
Perhaps that could come in useful.
Perhaps. I guess we won't be saving it for a celebration.
Well, I have 5 days of rations. Perhaps we can start with rations.
Yevgeny says, which one of you is good at talking? Because I cannot control my temper sometimes.
Dione immediately steps back.
Uh,
Shaking her head.
I look at Laurent.
I love talking. I'm just not good at it. I'm happy to try. I'm reasonably good at
So we actually
persuasion
have,
and deception.
we actually have 3 characters in the party that are relatively charisma based. I mean, Laurent is a bard,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rufus is a paladin, and Canas is a warlock. So
And with the old trifecta, let's go.
We're like,
I will do my best to assist you, Laurent.
Ah,
What?
good. Let's.
I shall stay here.
Canas. Oh,
Yes.
I'm not using Yune's voice, am
No,
I?
you're not. You are not.
Grass.
Damn it. The
It's
hell?
broken.
What happened? Why?
Canas.
There it is.
Did I hear cannibalism?
Yes.
I'm
yeah,
terrified,
the good-
Canas.
Well, the good news is imps are not involved when it comes to cannibalism.
But I'm not an imp.
You are currently.
Well, technically, I guess. But you don't think they're gonna eat me?
Well, I don't think so. How about this? And I snap my fingers, and it turns invisible.
Oh, thank you, Canas.
They
I'll
won't,
follow your lead.
They will not be able to eat you if they can't see you.
She's fine with that, and she'll follow your lead. All right, so the 2 of you head out, Canas and Laurent. Rufus and Dione are going to stay back, and Irina and Camilla will stay back as well. They see you as you approach. You're not trying to be stealthy, correct?
Yeah. Just gonna walk right down the path.
Mhm.
How do you hail this group?
Hail, weary travelers. A fine evening for a stroll, is it not?
And the mountain folk. There's 4 relatively, I would say, strong-looking men. They seem to be on some sort of a hunt. They have weapons and immediately draw daggers or short swords or axes, whatever they may have, as you approach. But they quickly
wait.
put it down. They quickly lower them.
Okay, I was gonna say, come on now. There's no need for that. We're all friends in this fine woods, aren't we? What
He
brings
says-
you fellows out into the beauty of? Is the woods
Barovia.
names or just the woods?
They're the Svalich Woods, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. What brings you out into the beauty of the Svalich woods?
And they have their weapons. They still keep them. They don't put them away at all. But one of them seems like he might be the leader, has an axe in his hand and maybe a bundle of firewood. He says to you, "Where are you from?"
It's so funny you should ask. Actually, not from around here at all. It's kind of a crazy story, but we're just coming from Vallaki right now.
Vallaki. Ah.
Yeah, are you familiar? It's Lovely little town. Change of management recently. If you haven't been back, you should. The Blue Water Inn, I highly recommend.
Very familiar with Vallaki from the outside, he says. Looks
Not
you up and
much.
down. He says, you look very healthy.
Well, thank you. Been working on my figure since I've been here.
We just had a rest.
Very full.
Feeling healthy.
Food. Must have lots of food and resources.
Oh, I wouldn't say lots.
Well, it's quite interesting we run into you. We're on a hunt.
Ah. Catch anything yet?
Not quite. Maybe. Where are you headed?
Well, we are on our way to Kresk.
What's in Kresk?
We
Well-
are also on a hunt.
So, you want to pass, don't you?
If it wouldn't be too much of a bother, sure.
Perhaps you'd join us for dinner.
Well, you just said you don't have a lot of food, and I don't have a lot of food,
But
and
it
my
looks like you
associate
do.
doesn't have a lot of food.
Not
Ah,
much
but it
salt.
Looks like you do. Perhaps you would be willing to share.
Why don't we come to terms first, then I'll be willing to share.
You look like a Vistani. Are you Vistana?
No, and everyone says that, and I honestly can't imagine why.
Very strange. I've seen Vistani. I don't think he looks anything like a Vistani.
Perhaps we can let you pass
Wonderful. We'll be on our way then.
for a price.
Well, what price are you thinking of? 'Cause,
We're so hungry. We're starving. Our people are starving. Do you have any food to share?
not but a couple of days' rations, and we'd
That'll
certainly need
do.
to keep some for ourselves. Otherwise, we'd have nothing to eat ourselves.
We can accept these rations. We know travelers like you need to eat. We wouldn't want to make you starve. But may I ask for one more thing?
Of course.
You there, Vistana,
Hmm.
a lock of your gorgeous hair.
That feels. I'm not
Like a very simple request.
I'm not opposed. Just have some follow-up questions, but sure.
He takes out a dagger, even smaller, maybe just like literally like a knife, like a small little hunting knife.
Do you mind if I cut it
Hunting fishing
myself?
knife.
Don't really want you near with that dagger. Looks kind of sharp.
He like brings the small blade. It's maybe 4 or 5 inches. He brings the blade to his mouth and he licks it, and then he says, "Whatever you wish." And he turns the blade behind and hands you the handle.
I will take it, and off the side of my luscious mane, I will cut off a lock of my beautiful dark hair.
What color is your hair? Is it brown or black?
I imagine like deep brown to the point of being black.
Right. Because similar to many of the Vistani, otherwise they wouldn't. It's their trademark dark features.
Yeah, I would say like a large like Mediterranean appearance.
Yeah, they wouldn't mistake you if you had like blonde hair. So,
It'd be a weird looking Vistani.
Right. so you give it to him.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah, you can see he kind of like his face paint has been smeared a bit now. It looks like he's been kind of working at building whatever he's doing, collecting firewood. A little bit of sweat on his brow, but now his like face complexion changes, grin ear to ear. He takes it and he like admires the hair and like feels it between his fingers, and then puts it in his like little pouch at the side of his belt. And the food, the rations. Your friends can come out now.
Before I give you some rations, mind if I ask for a lock of your hair in return? Just a little
Give me
bit.
a persuasion check.
Oh boy, 13. Ugh.
A 13? That's good enough. Yeah.
Oh, cool, great, perfect.
He like takes the same knife, licks it yet again. Still maybe some of your hair on it.
Weird choice, but okay.
He's like, and then now his hair is all scraggly. There's lots of grays streaked through it. There's areas that are caked with mud, so it's not very, very clean. But he hands you like a pretty thick bushel of hair. He gives it to you.
I'm going to take it and immediately start interning it into Gertruda's doll, which I still have.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah. All right.
I think I'll make her a nice little shirt out of his hair.
Do the rest of you come out and provide rations enough for each of the people? 4 rations for these fine mountain folk?
Yeah, I'll come out.
Sure. Yeah. And as I hand them over, and I'll say, oh, you know what? I also like to collect air. Very nice. And I just like give him a big grin, and I hand him one serving
Of hair?
of ration.
One
A serving of hair. Well, he licks it, so that's what you would do.
As
I
you
would
do.
like 1 hair, please.
Yeah, I'll hand him the rations and be like, oh, I also love to collect air.
Are you giving him a lock of your hair?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Just the food, the rations. Yeah.
He'll probably like try to when he grabs the rations, though, do a quick little like back of his hand brush of your beard. Yeah.
I don't like that. Dione steps back very quickly at that. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So these mountain folk will let you pass without any sort of fight. You've complied, and they're cool with it. They get food and they get some hair and a nice little fun interaction with the, local travelers here. Yevgeny.
Good luck. Good luck on the hunt.
Yes. Good luck in Kresk. And Yevgeny will, once you get out of earshot, he will be like, "Ugh, mountain folk." Ugh. And he spits to the side of the road.
Why did they want Laurent's hair?
Irina's like, yeah, that was strange. Camilla says, well, I'm kind of bummed they didn't ask for my hair. She's holding her like blonde locks. She's like, my hair's better than Laurent's.
That's not true, and you know it, kid.
I don't know why you're bummed.
Well, don't mean to boast, but my hair is red and fine.
Ah, like fire.
If they'd have seen me first, it would have been trouble.
Who's got the best hair? Actually, not only does this group have a lot of charisma, but a lot of hair, right?
We are a hairy group.
Like, you have gorgeous locks, Tim, as we've talked about. Rufus, like you said, the fiery mane. And Michelle, hair everywhere, pretty much, right? Like the beard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's Canas'
Yes.
hair situation like?
Well, you said it was kind of streaks of gray and like ashen, and that's kind of what his hair looks like.
Your hair looked like the mountain folk?
Yeah,
No.
except less mud in there.
Okay.
More well kept.
Well, yeah.
I actually, darn it, I can't remember. I feel bad. I can't remember the name of the archive.
Oh,
Archivist?
yeah, the archive. Yeah.
Yes,
It's called the archive.
archivist.
Yeah.
I still have the picture on my desktop. It's pretty similar to that.
Ah, okay.
Well, even if your hair's not that great, I heard that your wife loved it.
Oh. That was a compliment, I think. That's him trying to at least extend some sort of olive branch, I think.
Well, I didn't say that in character, so that's an odd comment to make.
He still makes it. That's Rufus for you. All right. So,
I slap
Press
him in
me
the
on.
face, and I say, "Keep my wife's name out of your mouth."
I get this strange sense of deja vu.
I look at Irina,
so funny.
not quite over it yet.
No. She's like, like, move on. All right. So eventually, as night falls, you do get to the place that Yevgeny promised, which was the Lake Baratok and the tower. So you push this horrible memory of the lock of hair out of your mind, and you come to a cold mountain lake enclosed by misty woods and rocky bluffs. A thick fog creeps across the dark, still waters. The trail ends at a grass-covered causeway that stretches out 100 yards across to the the lake to a flat, marshy island. So just imagine, right, this small, tiny little pathway leading to a almost like, I guess it's not an island technically if it's connected, right? But it's a small little round plot of land in the middle of this very large lake. The tower that sits upon it is made of stone and is old and decrepit. It's got collapsing scaffolds clinging to one side where a large gash has been split into the wall. Time-worn griffin statues, their wings covered with moss. They perch atop the buttresses that support the walls. Parked near the base of the tower within sight of the entrance is a barrel-topped wagon, splattered with mud.
Just as we're walking along, is there any indication that we're being followed or tracked?
That's a great question. How do you want to approach that?
Just like ever so once in a while, kind of look behind me and like they're camouflaged, and I'm not Evgeny. But just if there's like any overt signs of being followed.
Give me a survival check.
I get the willies from them having my hair, like they're gonna use it to track me somehow. 14.
You definitely don't notice any like through using survival skills, like noticing like tracks or something like that.
Sure.
You know, and you look back, obviously you haven't seen anybody following you, and Yevgeny's given no sign that there's been any danger, but you're right. Maybe you do have this sort of sense of dread that a piece of you is with somebody else.
Doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
Thank God for Rictavio. He's a funny guy, right?
Yeah, do we recognize this wagon?
You don't, actually. There was Rictavio's wagon, which was in the village of Vallaki, which you're very familiar with because there was that night with the tiger and everything. This one looks different, and actually, I've got some cool art to show you about this. Just want to get it up. Let's see. Here it is. This is something I found online, just searching. So I don't know necessarily the artist all too well, although I feel like maybe there was one other thing, and I just couldn't remember if it's the same artist. But either way, I linked it down below in the description. James's RPG art. I think he's got popular art all around the D&D sphere. And so you can see it right there. It is like I said, a decrepit old building, and there's a wagon here sitting just kind of like at the base of it.
I see griffins on it.
Yeah.
The griffin is the symbol of the lords of Gwaindire.
Oh, really?
My family. This
One
place
day.
This may be a good omen, and I'll start to walk forward.
Okay.
Can I like listen and maybe like give it a sniff to see if I can sense any living beings or any movement coming from the tower or the wagon?
Sure. Give me two things. Give me a survival check, and I'll let you do a perception check with advantage.
Oh, with advantage.
Yeah, two different
Oops,
checks
nope.
here, because you're
That's
kind of doing
not-
two different things. You're smelling the air to see if there's a scent, I'm assuming, and then the other thing is you're looking for signs that people have been here. And unfortunately,
Okay.
Laurent rolled a 14, so.
All right, I rolled deception because maybe I need to go see the eye doctor. Apologies. Okay.
Well, we can just keep. There we go.
Okay, for survival, I got 21, perception 18.
I was gonna say we could probably just keep the same rolls, just change the modifier. So like you rolled a 15 for deception the first time, and then a 19 for deception the second time, and your modifier would just be 2 more. So Realistically, with advantage, you'd have a 21.
Sweet. 21.
And then
for
you also
both.
got a 21 for survival, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right, lucky 21. So, Laurent, you were looking to see if maybe people were tracking you, if people were following you. You didn't notice any tracks, but you see Dione kind of looking to the floor, using her nose to sniff the air, and there's something that brings everybody's attention. There are tracks all throughout this area and the causeway, but Laurent, maybe you were just too focused on what was behind you to notice it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Rufus starts to head out towards the causeway, so does Irina and Camilla, so maybe perhaps Yevgeny and the rest of the group that stays back sees Dione do this.
Yeah, whoever sees me, I'm gonna just point out the tracks to them wordlessly because I recognize maybe someone's within earshot. So I'll like indicate the tracks.
Follow your nose, hey. I see. Looks good, looks good. Yevgeny gets down on one knee next to you and looks at the tracks. And then your 21 for perception, Dione, tells you that within the last 24 hours, werewolves have been here.
Lycanthropes.
Yes, I see that now. And he's looking at the tracks. It's clearly werewolves in some sort of a hybrid form. We must be
I wonder
quick.
if this was the hunt that some of these men were speaking of.
I don't think the mountain folk would be looking for werewolves. They would be too dangerous for them. But who knows who they will tell? This may not be a safe place to stay for the night.
Well,
And,
we're safe for another fortnight at least. We know there's not a full moon coming up.
he's like, what are you talking about?
Just the other night, there was a full moon. Didn't you see it?
Yes, I saw the full moon.
That's when werewolves are werewolves. So we're good.
Don't be naive, he says to you. These creatures, they can change at will. The full moon is children's stories. It does not exist. Everybody looks at Dione.
Evgeny, I will take your word for it. Because I have no choice. He doesn't know about Dione, right? He is as far as we know, he doesn't know.
No.
Okay,
Dione,
I
you
don't think
you never told Yevgeny or Zoldar, right?
Nope.
No. Mm-mm.
Why don't we
And-
inspect the tower? And if the tower is friendly or unoccupied, that seems like a reasonable place to spend the night.
Yep. Sounds good. Rufus, you'll get there first because you started down the causeway. The first thing that catches your eye, though, is the wagon, because it's situated and parked right in front of the tower, really. So you have to pass it to get to it. Under layers of mud, you can see the wagon sports a fresh coat of purple paint, and its wheels have a fancy gold trim. A brass lantern hangs from each corner, and red drapes cover the tombstone-shaped windows on either side. A steel padlock secures the back door, hanging from which is a cheap wooden sign that reads, "Keep out!" with an exclamation point.
Okay, well, I'll just carry on towards the tower.
The tower, as I mentioned, is made of stone, but the door is made of iron with no visible handles or hinges. The middle of the door is a large embossed symbol. It looks like some sort of series of lines, and there are markings all around. It's a circle. And carved into the lintel above the door is the word Khazan. Khazan. And I have artwork for this.
Oh,
While you're pulling it up, is that word familiar to anyone, or is it in a language that anyone recognizes?
I don't think so. But you can give me a history check.
Well, I would have to do it.
I was gonna say I don't know if I'm the guy, but if someone wants to,
If you're
Sure.
there.
I'm just not there yet.
Oh, what's that? 9.
No, certainly not. Not familiar to you at all.
I will say Hazam.
Nothing happens.
I'm going to knock that knocker on the door now.
Okay, you knock the knocker on the door. I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What's your total?
+2 on saves, so 5.
A 5 is your total?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good. What kind of armor are you wearing?
Nah, I'm gonna re-roll it. I have 3 inspiration points on my.
Nice.
I get a
Oh
5
my
again.
god.
Great.
It's a 5
Oh,
again.
man.
Oh my
Scale
god.
mail.
Scale mail?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Lightning arcs out from the door, and you take 16 lightning damage.
No, that's not too bad.
It continues to arc though, Andrew, and Rufus realizes if he stays here, he's going to take this damage every round that he stays. So I assume you want to retreat.
Yeah, I'll back away. Ah,
Yeah, you get
I
10
knew
feet
this
away from the door,
Rictavio-
and you're outside of this electrical pulse.
I knew this Rictavio was no good.
You can also, everyone
lot of
hears
them
the
here.
sound of, everyone behind that was still like on the causeway hears like the sound of crackling energy and arcing lightning. It's pretty loud.
I'd like to stand, stand towards the shore end of the causeway, and I'm just hearing Rufus, but also keeping an eye on the woods behind us, because I still am not convinced.
Yeah. And
Stay
Irina
back.
and Camilla were checking out the wagon, so they were like, a little bit further back. They're shocked. They go to you and rush you. Rufus, are you okay? Irina says.
No, I knew this Rictavio was no good. And I'm going to storm over to the wagon.
It says keep out, though. And everybody, you can rush to the end of the causeway now. You can all get together again.
Dione,
Did
Did you
Rictavio appear?
did you
No.
see what happened? Lightning came out from the door when I knocked it. It damaged me. I'm hurt.
It seems like he's
A
just being
trap.
careful.
This Rictavio is no good.
This
Well,
is
that is-
Do we even believe this to be this Rictavio's tower?
That's what he said. He said, meet us here, did he not?
It doesn't make it his tower wagon. Maybe we beat him here.
Did he give us any information about the tower?
He told you it was a tower. It was on a lake to the west between here and Kresk. And Yevgeny's like, this is the only tower. This
Oh,
is the place.
Must be it then.
This
Y-
wagon
Unless
is
this
similar
tower
to-
he talks about is a hidden tower that I know not about.
Well, that would be hard to find.
Are there any windows in the tower?
There are some windows, yeah. But right now,
Yune,
the entire
you-
10 feet of it is within arcing distance of this lightning. And
Oh.
it covers the entire tower.
Is,
And it's still going.
It's still going, yeah. It's been about a minute at this point.
Yeah.
Michelle,
Dione,
were you
can
going to say something?
open this lock so we can inspect this wagon?
am I able to approach without getting struck by the lightning?
You just can't get within 10 feet of the tower, but the wagon is not as close to it. Actually, I'm going to move us to another Roll20 map, so.
I also noticed, like, in the picture, and maybe this is just artistic license, but in the picture that you showed us of the tower and the wagon, it looks like
Mhm.
they're on, like, a circular platform almost. Is that just, like, the art style?
art,
or...
yeah.
Okay.
This
Okay,
art right here,
so-
this circular, like,
Oh, sorry, the more zoomed out picture of the tower with the wagon next to it.
the James RPG art.
Yeah. Does that
Yeah.
signify that they're on a circular piece of land?
Yes,
The
it's like a
tower.
little island, exactly. Yep.
Okay, then can I actually like look at the ground around the edges of that little island?
Mhm. Sure.
Yeah, just to see. Like
What
as
are you
I'm
looking-
walking over with my thieves' tools, like getting ready to undo this
Mhm.
lock.
What are you looking for?
Uh,
Anything?
So on the door, there are symbols kind of at like the cardinal directions, and then also like the in between spots.
Mhm.
So I want to see if there's anything of significance, anything unusual, kind of in the, I don't know, in the words are so hard.
I know.
Corresponding, yes, in the corresponding positions.
Gotcha. Kind of assuming that
side.
like this is the island in some way.
Yeah, maybe,
Yep.
maybe.
Give me an insight check. I'd take that instead.
Sure. Wow, a big old 5.
You believe that there's no correlation between the island and these symbols, although you haven't ventured into the water.
Okay. Well then Dione shrugs her shoulders and gets the thieves' tools and says, "Okay, Rufus, I will try."
Hurry.
Yes. Wait, I'm so sorry. What did you ask me to unlock again?
The padlock. This padlock here on this wagon.
Of course.
This could remember the tiger in the wagon. This could be a
Yes.
similar thing.
Oh, how could I forget? But if a tiger comes out and attacks us, then we will.
We know it's
kill
Rictavio.
it. Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. And then I'm gonna go ahead and try to open the padlock with my thieves' tools.
And everybody just position yourselves where you'd like to be on this map. Positioning just, maybe matters in general.
I'm scared.
Dione, you go and do it. I shall stand over here.
Not purposely far from the wagon, but perfectly close to the causeway. I am convinced they are going to show up. I swear.
I'm kind of inspecting the front of the wagon.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone else is running away just because Bob said something.
No, I if they show up from the causeway, I mean, I probably should stand further back so they can get on the map. But like, they're going to come up this causeway, and I would be ready when they do show up.
Dione, you
Okay.
can give me a sleight of hand check. See if you can open the use of thieves' tools.
Sure.
Not sleight of hand. You can give me any dexterity skill and just add your
Yeah.
proficiency to it. And then for Canas, you want to take a look at the front of the wagon, right?
I'm kind of just inspecting it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not even within 5 feet of it, so.
Well, okay. There we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to get closer to it. Good. Excellent. You look at the front of the wagon, and the front of the wagon has a driver's seat, and it looks like there would be a tether that would attach to some sort of a horse or some sort of a beast of burden, but there's no horse there. So the yoke is just down. The running gear is just down.
Are there tracks? I know there were tracks, the werewolf tracks, but does it look like there are tracks left behind from this wagon?
Give me a
recently?
survival check.
Uh, 19.
You do notice some tracks, actually. There are booted footprints around this area. Looks like whoever was in this wagon hopped off of the wagon and has been going to and from the front door to this tower multiple times. There's also tracks of a horse that probably would have pulled this wagon here.
Uh-huh. But no sign of a horse anywhere.
There is no horse on the island. No. Nope.
Mhm.
But certainly someone with a horse was here. No doubt. And it's not werewolves.
Werehorses.
It's clearly, it's werehorses. It's
Now,
clearly a rider. Yep.
Now, I have a question just because I don't trust you, Bob.
Yep.
You said it could be any dexterity check, right?
For thieves' tools.
So,
No,
is your-
I'm suggesting
is
it
your
because
stealth higher?
no, I was suggesting it for her because like rolling it just mechanically, like if you click on the thing,
Right.
if you had a
right.
proficiency in something, it would have counted the same exact number right now.
Mhm.
But yeah. So Dione, what
Hmm.
was your thieves' tools check?
It was 18 in total.
Nice. Let's see here.
Yes.
Yeah, you can open up
Okay.
the lock. Yep.
So as Dione kind of gets in there with the thieves' tool, she like nervously looks over her shoulder and she goes, "Oh, Rufus, I thought you wanted to see what is inside. Okay." Nervously giggles or chuckles a bit like.
Here, I'll
Goes at
come
the
around
padlock.
with you. I move to the other side.
Oh, this is better. Thank you, friend.
Of course.
Okay. And then she seems a bit more relieved, sighs, and her shoulders relax. Do I open this padlock, Bob?
It's open. Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic.
The padlock has been unlocked. The door is still closed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if we are ready to see what's inside, slowly take off the padlock. And then I guess I first want to open the door maybe like a millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
Do I hear anything? Any reaction from anything inside? All right.
Well, you hear something for sure.
Of course.
Next time on Tabletop Up.
Yeah, that's where we're gonna end the session tonight, folks. We'll see you next time.
You
Short one
turn-
today, guys.
You turn the handle,
Uh-huh.
and even just enough to open it a millimeter, right? Your handle needs to come down. You need to turn the handle just enough so that it
Right.
would actually be able to get the door open. And as soon as you do, you hear something on the other side fall, like it was dangling from the handle, and the turning of the handle dropped it. And the wagon explodes in a blazing display of fire. I need both of you to give me
Ah, of course.
Constitution saving throws, actually, not dexterity.
Of course. All right, let's see. All right, an 8 for me.
19 for me.
All right. You take half of this, and I am going to roll it in the open here for you. And both of you pass, so you're taking half.
An 8.
Wow,
Oh, so
okay.
small.
You take half of 32 fire damage, so 16 fire damage. The wagon
Jeepers.
erupts. And that was good lucky on your part, I think. Oh, no, wait. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
Was
That
that,
was-
lucky?
No. I'm sorry. I didn't roll enough. It's 10. So you take half of 68 fire damage.
Oh my
So-
god.
68 fire damage is 10d10. 68 fire damage halved is 34. You take
Yeah.
34 fire damage as the wagon erupts into a blazing display of fire, and there's just cinders flying by. You can see what was inside the wagon. The contents have all been exploded, and you realize as the dust clears, and if you're even conscious at this point, but the rest of the group would see it. It looks like a entire barrel of alchemist fire exploded. You could see the remnants of the alchemist fire, vials and things like that, now burning inside this huge bonfire. And it is a massive sound to it. I mean, boom! This echoes throughout the entire lake.
Dione staggers a bit, clutching her side, clearly in pain. She's like, well, maybe coughs up a little blood. Now, whoever else is in these woods knows we are here.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should get to a safe place.
And
This is
by the way, everybody
not
else I
safe.
know, everybody else definitely ran, right? Like I know you were all on the other side, so you're safe. But Dione and Canas, how are we looking right now?
Well,
I'm in a lot of pain.
yeah. If it weren't for Rufus's inspirational speech, I would have a single hit point at this point. But now I have 9. Thank you, Rufus.
Oh, I also have 9.
Would you look at that?
Wow. Twins.
Okay.
Twinsies.
Yay.
Let
Bloody
me guess.
twinsies.
Let me guess, you have the same exact hit point total.
That can't be possible. I feel like you should have more.
I wasn't at 100% before.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, you can. I mean, Irina and Yevgeny and Camilla, they run over once they realize what has happened and they see that you're alive. Thank goodness. Irina pulls you all back, and Camilla and Evgeny pull your bodies back towards the safety of the edge of the causeway. The fire is roaring. It's loud.
I'm so sorry, Dione. I did not know that was going to happen. I should have
Oh.
known with the door being trapped.
Yes. But what a coincidence that you were able to stand so far back. Very
Yes,
lucky. Yes.
It was lucky. I thought I saw some movement over here.
So ironic that none of you were near.
Well, now that the fire's lit, we might as well set up camp here.
It does make sense that everybody would want to sort of escape because the freaking tower
Noise.
shot electricity out. So to be far away would be probably smart.
We came
But-
all this way.
Yes.
We have achieved nothing. Which Rictavio said to meet us here. He sent us into a trap.
I'm gonna just look up. I'm just gonna start shouting. Rictavio!
Rictavio!
Come down here.
Maybe. Maybe
I
I'll
want,
like.
and I want Yune
sorry.
to fly up and look through one of the windows.
Should start with that.
Well, I was in the middle of saying it.
Maybe Dione's gonna like stagger over to the water and like try to splash her face. She's all singed.
Yeah,
The
like
precious
Looney Tune
beard
style.
is not looking too good.
Looney Tune style, just like your butt's on fire and just put it into the water.
Exactly.
Oh, your beard is probably like singed.
Yeah, it's a major loss for Dione.
You've probably lost feet. You've lost feet of beard. Not your feet.
Okay.
You've lost feet of beard.
Right. Yes. The
Yeah.
unit, not the part.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah,
All right.
Dione's gonna like stagger over because like she's bleeding profusely, but she's gonna stagger over to the water and like put her beard fire out and then like splash herself with the water. Try to like catch her breath.
Has
Forgot
the lightning
Yevgeny.
stopped?
The lightning is now stopped. It took like many minutes, like maybe like 5 whole minutes for it to stop. You want
So-
Yune to go up?
Yes, and I'm going to say to Yune, do not touch anything. Just look.
Yune will go up. There are a couple of things that she could look into. Actually, it looks like there's 4 floors to the tower. The top one looks like it's got light coming out of it, and then there's also some holes in the second floor. Those like big, huge areas of like where stone is broken. You could kind of go to, and there's windows on every one of them. There's about 4 window sides to each tower section. So, do you want to go to one specifically, or?
Maybe check out the one that has light coming out of it first.
Yeah, so she'll go up to the one with light, and when she does, she looks inside and she can see that there is signs of habitation. Again, she's not going near it, not touching it, but she's kind of staying maybe like more than 5 feet away from the building just to make sure she doesn't proc anything. And she can tell you a couple things, but mostly the place looks like it has the comforts of habitation, a bed, chair, tapestries, iron stove, wood next to it, lit lanterns. The shutters are broken, so she can actually see into them, but most of everything else is intact. Oh, and a suit of armor.
Okay.
Do you relay that information to us?
I would even look through Yune's eyes probably, so I could see it for myself.
And you could describe it
and
as
I
cheesies.
will.
Mhm.
Nobody is here, but the light is on, and it seems that certainly somebody could be in the building since the light is on. But There's a suit of armor there that seems out of place compared to everything else in the room.
Can you nade tap on the windows? Do we think they trapped the second floor windows? Third floor windows?
I would prefer that Yune does not touch anything.
What?
Noted.
How big is
However-
the armor?
Like that of a human.
Do you think it would fit me?
Well, perhaps if you want the armor to burst into ice and turn you into a block of ice.
You think it would be booby-trapped as well?
I'm just trying to make light of a terrible situation. I actually feel quite ill right now. All right, Yune, why don't we go down a floor?
Sure. Yune goes down to the third floor and looks in through one of those windows, again staying more than 5 feet away from the window itself. But she says to you,
Oh, Canas. This one looks bad. It looks like everything's a mess in here. And there's a big gash in the wall. I see slimy, black residue all over it.
Along the window,
The wall.
inside.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
And it looks like the floor is starting to fall away in places.
I'm gonna
Doesn't look
take a-
nice.
I'm gonna take a look.
See? See what I told you?
Do I recognize what this could be?
yes. Time and the elements have all but destroyed this chamber, leaving a gash in the northwest wall and a slimy black mildew on the walls. The wooden floor is completely rotted and has begun to fall away in places.
What about the slimy residue? Do
It
I
looks
know
like
anything about it?
Mildew.
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 Hmm.
You want
Odd.
to see the second floor as well?
Yeah.
Dust and cobwebs fill this otherwise empty room. The wooden floor here is also badly rotted and partially falling apart.
So only the bottom floor is habited.
And the bottom floor does not have windows.
Oh, well, where was the armor?
Fourth
On
floor.
the top floor.
Oh, only the fourth floor is in good condition.
Well, this is strange. There doesn't seem to be any sign of Rictavio here, and yet the light is on.
Is there a way in on the floor, on the top, on the roof?
It doesn't seem like there was one in the vision.
What is this over here, though? Looks like there's like a ladder.
Scaffolding. Yep. You could climb up it and get to the second floor.
Oh, as I'm splashing my face with the water, I imagine that my face is like close to the surface of the water.
Mhm.
Do I see anything in there while I'm there?
You do not. Mm-mm.
Okay.
You don't. You don't recognize anything that would help you with that pattern on the door. No.
So,
Okay.
so Canas, you saw armor in the fourth floor.
Yes.
And does the scaffolding go up so you can be next to the window that he looked through?
It doesn't let you go to the window. It lets you go to that big gash in the wall.
And would it be big enough for me to fit through?
Probably, yeah.
I must have armor.
It wouldn't go up to that floor though, Rufus. It goes to the second floor, but
But I could take the steps up.
true. Yeah, there are steps in each chamber that go up.
Can I gingerly touch the scaffolding and see what happens?
Yeah. This. Yeah, you can go up to the scaffolding. Yeah, it doesn't affect you in any way.
And I touch it.
You touch it. It seems like a wooden scaffolding that could support at least your body weight.
I look up. Wayne
It's-
Lord, guide me. And I can start to climb up the scaffolding.
It's a pretty, yeah, like you said, it goes up pretty high. Each individual segment is, I think, like 20 feet up.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can go up 20 feet on the scaffolding, climbing up it. It seems very unstable, Rufus. Like, you feel like if anybody were to come on this with you, it might collapse. Like, it physically doesn't really feel sound.
Stay
But
back,
it seems
everyone.
seems to hold your weight.
It's
yeah.
not sound.
All right,
Am
so
I
you
at the
climb up the
gash level?
scaffolding.
Can I gingerly touch that gash and see what happens?
Yeah. You touch the gash. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god.
Ah,
Uh,
no.
22.
You pass. However, you're going to take half of the damage. The lightning field arcs around the building yet again. You will take half of this number. 16, so you take 8.
Got it.
And it continues. It persists. It is arcing throughout the entire building. You can even see, it seems like it would hit you if you were trying to enter. The entirety of the tower is covered.
Get out of there.
I'll
Now
climb
the
down
problem,
carefully.
Rufus, now is you've climbed 20 feet up. In order
Right.
for you to get out of this, you'd have to jump.
Well,
You could
is
go
it-
slowly down, but again, the scaffolding is rather flimsy. So how do you want to approach this?
Well, I guess I'll drop down, hang down from my hands, right? And then
Yep.
let go. When I hit the ground, roll up in a ball.
Give me an acrobatics check.
Got it.
What's your number?
8. 8.
You try to do that, but either the scaffolding, you slip off of it, or even a piece breaks and you fall with no sort of grace, and you're going to take a total of 7 bludgeoning damage. You hit the floor
Oof.
flat on your back.
Oof.
This is
Not doing well.
this
Irina
is
comes
worse
over
than
to you
when
and
we fight monsters.
this is worse. Irina pulls you back. She makes sure you're okay. Did you break anything, Rufus? Are you all right?
I think I'm okay. This arc, and is there any way we can turn it off?
It does not. It stays on for a long time. Like I said, minutes, like 5 minutes full arcing. And
I
it's
would
continuing.
like to try to inspect the door, perhaps once this lightning ends.
I'm going to show it up here on the screen, but you do have it in your journal. It is called the tower door, I believe.
I still
Yep.
have it open.
So I'll read it again. The tower door is made of iron with no visible handles or hinges. In the middle of the door is a large embossed symbol, a connected series of lines with some sort of, like I said, some sort of image. Hard to tell exactly what the characters are. And carved into the lintel above the door is the word Kazan.
Can I cast Eldritch Blast on the door and try and smudge out some of those ruins?
Yeah, where are you? Are you going up to the door to do that, or are you going to stay out?
From a safe distance, I would like to.
Sure. You can
Yeah.
do it from a safe distance. Everybody put your tokens where you'd like them to be.
Okay. I'm moving way back this time.
Go ahead.
All right,
Roll to
it's
hit.
going to be a 14 to hit.
You cast a beautiful Eldritch Blast. You even shout out Hadouken, and the blast travels, and as soon as it gets within 5 feet of the tower, it dissipates as if it was dispelled. The magic disappeared. Give me an Arcana check. Anybody that feels like they would have any knowledge of this.
Wow. My Arcana's trash.
So I don't know much, but I got 13.
9.
Don't feel like Dione would have knowledge of this.
I mean, I have a -1, so how could I possibly have knowledge of this?
Try it.
All right,
doesn't
whatever.
mean you
Just
can.
card tricks is all you know. Come on. Ah, Dione knows everything. Oh,
Nat-
Canas.
Wow.
A nat 20.
Canas has a nat 20. This is an anti-magic field.
Aha.
It seems like every area of the tower itself and within 5 feet of it emanates this anti-magic field. You would also know that Yune should certainly not go into this tower because Yune would be dispelled.
Okay.
And that would mean Yune is gone and you'd have to summon her again, and we know how you summon her now.
I don't like that.
So if Yune were to try to go within 5 feet of this building, she'd be dead.
Yune, by no means will you enter this building.
Oh, I didn't want to, Canas. Thank you. I appreciate this.
All right. I would like to. I'm not going to touch anything, but I want to look more closely at the symbol on the door.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I'm probably just going to die. Okay. What I specifically want to look at right now is there are 2 points. Like this symbol seems to be, intersecting lines and stuff like that. And there are 2 points at the end that point to 2 different symbols.
That's correct. Yep.
Can you tell me anything about those symbols?
I mean, you don't know anything about the symbols, but yet again, like it looks like the difference between those two, so for everybody that's listening to this, it's a line. It looks like they crisscross, almost like it looks like a clock. Like there are different characters at different points around the circle of this. It is a large embossed symbol. It doesn't actually say what it's made of, but it looks like maybe like brassy, or it's got even like a what is it called, a patina, like the bluish oxidation on it, and then each character looks like it's a series of lines that are pointing in different directions as well. So like the one you have is a line straight down, 2 lines to the left and right angled diagonally, and then 2 almost like right angles kind of pointing down, intersecting in the middle of it. The other is the basically pointing up like that.
If I walk all the way around the tower,
Mhm.
do I find that the shape of the tower resembles the shape drawn on that thing?
It does not, actually. The tower has an octagonal shape, whereas this is a circle. Is it octagonal? Did I say it wrong? Octagonal?
Octagonal.
Octagonal?
I want to try to keep note of not just the symbols that are around the clock,
Mhm.
but perhaps the series of lines that are going kind of like with I don't know, it's like triangles and weird stuff or whatever. And I want to circle the building and see if I could see anything like similar to Rufus's thought. Maybe the building is shaped like this. I'm just looking for maybe the symbols that might be carved somewhere around the building.
Symbols are not on the building, no.
Okay.
Yeah, you look around and you get the sense that the building is not this. Like, it really feels that way. And Dione was certain of it back then when she rolled her 5, so.
I'm also kind of circling around the back. Is there anything at the back of the building?
There's nothing on the back of the building. There's no, like, back door, if that's what you're looking for. And the first floor doesn't have windows. The floors above you, though, have windows on every side, except for the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor has the windows on the diagonals.
Okay, so nothing of particular note as I circle the building.
Nope. No, not at all. No.
What about the griffins?
The griffins are there, like I said, above the 1st floor, like kind of connecting the 1st and 2nd floor, but they don't have any markings on them. None of these. And Dione, you were going to say something?
Oh, yes. So while Canas is circling around, no one's by the door, so I'll go stand in front of the door. And I guess Dione's gonna notice that, like, the characters also kind of look like people. Like maybe it's a language, but it's not a language Dione knows. They kind of look like little stick figures. So while the other guys are like using their brains and doing logic things, Dione's just gonna like copy the positions on the stick figures, like in the order that the line connects them. So like,
So here's what I want you to do then, Dione. I want you, Michelle, to physically do this then and show us, because I don't think I would be able to describe it in a way that would be good for a viewer. So if you're listening, you gotta look at the YouTube right now. Dione, Michelle, I should say. How do you want to?
Okay.
What position do you want to start in?
Sure. Okay. So Dione will start with her 2 arms pointed up. Yes, okay, gotta square myself to the camera. Okay, so 2 arms pointed up, and then like at 90-degree angles for the elbows. And then she's gonna take her left arm and zoop, like point it down. So now her arms are kind of making like a sideways S almost. Then both arms out at the same time, so it's like parallel with the ground. And then both arms angled down, so 90 degrees downwards, both of them. Then back up.
And
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, both arms are angled up 90 degrees, and then the opposite. So now right arm is gonna go down and left arm is up. And wow, I feel ridiculous. Like, watch, this isn't even the thing. Okay, and then both arms back out, parallel to the ground again, and then finally ending with both arms pointed down. And then
The door shifts and grinds. You can hear mechanism inside unlocking. You can even sense some sort of feature powering down, some sort of energy source powering down. Lines of the symbols on the door light up as you finish it. So that, like you said, the starting with the top left position where your arms were up like this to the left and right. As you did it, you noticed the lines are lighting up, almost like a fuse being lit. And at the end, the entire door glows, and it opens up.
Amazing.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
Rufus
you
and
did it.
Canas are
Impressive,
like
Dione.
Rufus and Canas are like the Griffins, the Griffins.
Yeah, Dione's gonna call around to the back of the tower because I guess the other guys are over there. The door, it is open. Quickly, come.
And perfect, great job. While we do this now, actually, maybe I won't show you some artwork. There's some art I want to show you, but I'll wait just a minute. But the door opens, and it is open to you if you want to go in.
Well, I'm gonna get right next to Dione. Congratulate Dione. That was amazing. You're so skilled at these. I don't know how you did that. Would you like me? Would you like to go in? Would you like the honor of being first in?
Yes, well
Thank you
done,
so much.
Yevgeny says.
Thank you so much. Yes, when I was but a little girl, I took 2 dance classes. They were horrible, so I decided to never dance again in my life. But perhaps I can try it again.
They certainly
I feel
came in
you.
handy.
Thank you. Okay, let's go. Actually, I don't feel so well. Rufus, can you go first this time?
Certainly. As I go
Thank
in, I'll say, I am, of course, an expert dancer. That was part of my education in the Gwaindire. Gwaindire has many excellent folk dancers. I'll look at Irina when I say this.
Irina's, I guess
She's, like,
she's impressed. Yeah, she's impressed. Yeah,
She is.
we have to do a performance check later, but we'll see.
I try
So
and go
you-
in, but
Yeah, Rufus enters first. There's a flagstone floor with strewn with debris, and a few old crates stand near the east wall. It actually looks like quite a bit of food, and this is like must be storage area. It's you see a 5-foot square indentation in the center of the floor that contains 4 pulleys attached to taut iron chains that stretch up through a similarly sized hole in the rotted wood ceiling. Standing next to the chains are 4 tall clay figures. These 4 clay figures they move, actually, when you come close. They seem to get ready to pull the chains. They have no facial features or anything like that. They look almost like silhouettes of large hulking humanoids.
What are those crates I see?
Food. It's foodstuffs, jerky, things like that, dried meats, rations,
No
supplies.
vampires.
What's that?
No vampires in the crates this time.
Oh, no. Yeah, you can easily see that. And move your token and everybody can go in.
I'm stuck.
Oh no.
Where are you?
I can't move. There we go. Now I can move in.
I'm going to move right onto this platform.
Oh my god, please God, no.
Just flounces onto the pressure plate. This is fine.
No,
This
it's
is
a lift.
fine.
It's going to take me up to the armor.
Yeah, but what's
Okay.
up there?
Yune wants to know if you can, if she should go in. Definitely.
I don't know if she can. So she's got to stay out.
Yune will stay out. I'll keep a watch, she says. All right.
Should
Yeah.
we perhaps we should close the door behind us.
Yes.
Yes, just in case someone follows.
You close the door, and Rufus steps onto the platform. It appears that the creatures, the clay creatures, start to raise it. They pull on these chains, and you're going up like an elevator.
Excellent.
If anybody
going
wants
to
to
look at
jump
this armor.
on, I was going to say, if anybody wants to jump on, you get the sense that this is rather fragile. I mean, it's a wooden platform. Maybe two of you can go up at a time, but it's not so easy to do. So if anybody wants to go up with Rufus, you can.
If no one else wants to, I'll go with Rufus.
Okay, the two of you go up, and I'll move you to the next floor. Okay. So Tim and Andrew, your characters are rising up. Now I'm putting you on the sides, but really you're in the center. I'll actually maybe just double your tokens up so you can see. So Rufus, you're the token on the front there, but Laurent is with you on the platform. The clay creatures down below continue to raise you up if you stay on the platform. So if you stay, they start to move. If you would rather stay here, you hop off, they would stop.
And this is the mildewy room, right?
The
horrible
second
room.
floor, yeah, I described it before, but it's worth describing yet again. Dust and cobwebs fill this otherwise empty room, the wooden floor of which is badly rotted and partially collapsed. And the mildew one is actually the third floor. The mildew, do you want to go up there as well?
I want to stay on the elevator.
Time and the elements have destroyed this chamber, leaving a gash in the northwest wall and slimy black mildew. There's a gash on... Actually, yeah, there's a gash on the third floor wall. My bad. There you go.
Okay.
And you can see the scaffolding as well on both sides. Both maps. So yeah, you continue on. You want to go up to the top?
Just a quick look around. Is there any indication of like the arcane sigils on the inside that would have sparked the lightning on the outside, or does it look like it was just that door?
None.
Night.
None. You continue all the way up to the top, and this is where the creatures cease pulling. And you're at the top here, and I'll just ping everybody to this spot for right now. This is a good, cool little... they used to do this a lot in adventures. They don't do it so much anymore. Don't know why, but they give you, like, blueprints of a building, and I kind of wish they did this more often. But this is the tower. So you can see it's
Oh,
like
sweet.
20 feet for each section. It even shows you the pulley system, which these like clay creatures at the bottom pull you up like an elevator. And the top floor is, you can see exactly where the pulley mechanisms are. It's situated at the top on the ceilings as the point to this fourth floor comes to a sort of like a pointed top. Yeah, and then let me read you this description as well. Unlike the levels below, this room shows sign of recent habitation, and although the place does smell of mold and mildew, it has plenty of creature comforts, including a cozy bed, a desk with a matching chair, bright tapestries, and a large iron stove with plenty of wood to feed it. Light enters through the arrow slits, although there actually is lanterns lit in here. And it's dark outside, so maybe this would be if a different time you came in. There's dirt caking the windows, and the shutters are broken. Other features of the room include a standing suit of armor and a wooden chest. Old wooden rafters bend under the weight of the tower, which somehow remained intact. Mounted to the rafters are the pulleys, which I described before, which hang iron chains that support the elevator platform. And don't you just love this blueprint?
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
good.
beautiful.
I think it's cool because like now you can really get a visual of like the crack that's in the third floor, the scaffolding Rufus fell from, the windows that what's her name, Yune was looking through. The wagon unfortunately is gone. It's a smoldering pile right now.
So I'm going to get off the elevator. And I'm going to use Divine Sense.
You don't sense anything. Nothing here pings divine sense.
Can I call down through the like elevator shaft that everyone else can come back up? It's safe.
Yeah. Yep. If you say that, actually, the creatures, the clay creatures, will start to lower it.
Heck yeah, great, perfect.
You said lower it, and they're starting to lower it.
Well, that's happened. I'll take a look at that desk.
The desk?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. One other thing, too, while we say this. So, the suit of armor is kind of like in the northern part of this. And Rufus, you did look at it, right? You did look at it?
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
suit of armor, I'll go and look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks very, like, possible to be worn, I guess, in theory. Like, it fits you, roughly. It looks like it's made for a human. And it's full plate armor. Yeah.
And if I touch it, does it seem magical? I'll cast Detect Magic on it.
It is magical. Mm-hmm.
What type of magic?
Enchantment.
Does it seem, to my paladin senses, does it seem a good magic or a source
That
of
you
evil?
couldn't tell. It didn't tell you if there was a fiend or anything nearby. So, I mean, it doesn't follow any of the qualifications of fiend, fey, undead, celestial. Doesn't meet those qualifications, so that's up to you to decide. But it does seem like it is magical in some way.
I'll say to Laurent, I think this has been left here for me by fate. What do you think?
As long as it's not cursed, let's try it out.
Well, we have some time while we wait for the others to come up. I'm very
Yeah.
eager.
And you also wanted to search the room, right?
The desk. Yeah, let me check this desk first.
Yeah, well, he's searching the desk. I just want to rummage through any like cabinets, under beds, any other areas that might be worth looking
You find
into.
a rolled up map of Barovia and what looks like a page from a journal, but it is burned, charred. Almost impossible to read anything from it without studying it and maybe trying to investigate it further. Though you do notice the word Kazan is written on it.
Is the map of Barovia in any way significantly different from the one we already have?
That's a good point. It's probably slightly different, especially in terms of like the cartographer who made it must have their own design elements and
Sure.
like flair. But no, it looks like the actual locations, roads, things like that are matching up with the one that you've seen many times.
Perfect.
There's also a wooden chest in the room, and you can sense a lavender aroma emanating from it.
I'm gonna wait for Dione for that one, based on how chests have gone so far tonight.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the bed. I see there's a bed. Can I inspect that?
Yep,
Feel
you can see the
warm?
bed. Yeah, you can see the bed. It doesn't look like you can like poke into it, look underneath it. The chest that I was referring to is at the foot of it.
Oh, okay.
And of course, Dione and Canas, the elevator gets down to you now. The clay creatures, like almost without saying anything, offer the platform to you.
So, sorry, just while that stuff was going on, I would like to do something.
Sure, go for it.
So I'd like to actually exit the building.
Okay.
And is there maybe a piece of splintered wood or something that came off of the wagon?
Boy, is there.
Okay. So I would like to grab a large piece of splintered wood, and I want to put it up against, kind of like on the floor within 5 feet of the tower.
Okay.
And I would like to blast it and see if the magic dissipates or hits the piece of splintered wood.
Okay. So you want to like cast a spell just at the piece of wood?
Eldritch Blast.
Sure. Yeah.
And I want to see if it goes through, because I would like, if now that we're inside the building and seemingly pretty hurt, I'm hoping that we can stay in this building.
Yeah, actually, and I did make a mistake. So it will not, like, you cast Eldritch Blast and it dissipates just like you saw Laurent's blast dissipate. And Rufus, I do apologize. Your Divine Sense would have gone off, because that, I believe, is not a magical effect. However, your Detect Magic would have been wasted. Obviously, you know the result at this point, but we'll just say that it's so obvious that this armor is enchanted that even without the spell, you get the sense that it would have been. And of course, you sense that your spell dissipated as well. So in the future, if you use a magical spell,
Right.
it will be dissipated.
But I don't detect any. The Divine Sense doesn't detect anything still.
No. And I'm looking at like anti-magic field. It doesn't say anything about like Divine Sense specifically, but it does affect things that have targeted effects, like an area of magic, like Fireball, for instance, Wall of Fire, and then of course spells in general, right, get suppressed, and magical items even are suppressed. So, do you have any magical items on you, both of you?
No. Well, I've got that sword that I got from the Burgomaster. That seems to be kind of magical.
It technically it is, well, we'll talk about that later, but nothing happens to it per se. You wouldn't notice anything. But Laurent, I know you have some magical items, right? Tim, are you there?
Sorry,
Uh-oh.
I had myself on mute.
you go.
Yes, I mean, like, I have my magical focus in terms of like my deck of cards and the Gertrude Stahl, and I also have the Tome of Understanding in my inventory still. I'm not sure if we used it already or not.
Somebody used the tome, I believe.
Okay,
I used it. I read it.
I thought so. Okay, but other than that, I don't have other magical items.
Okay, well then, yeah. So I guess it would be the doll, which has a small like illusory effect, right? That was what it was.
Yeah,
I can't remember. So whatever minor effect it would have, or your cards or something like that, it does not function in here.
If I get into combat, would it still count? Would the card still work as a spiritual focus, or would I be out of luck, do you think? Or would I not know?
I think that after seeing the Eldritch Blast, you might test it, and it doesn't work.
Well, everyone, I can't cast magic in here.
Yeah.
So
and
those
that's,
other guys show up, then I am out of luck.
Rufus,
This is-
you saw Rufus cast Detect Magic, and it also did not work. Although obviously this thing is enchanted in some way. Obviously.
Of course.
Well, this would be an excellent place to rest for the night, don't you think?
So, Bob, I have another question, and I don't know if you can give me an answer. So one of the features
I love
of Find
this.
Familiar is that I can, as an action, temporarily dismiss the familiar, and it goes into a pocket dimension where it awaits my summons.
Absolutely.
Can I do that?
You could try. Certainly. Please do.
Okay. Well,
If
I
you-
guess Yune
if you
just
choose
has
to. Yeah.
I guess Yune just has to fly around outside then.
Would you like to give me a insight check?
Sure. A 16.
You feel like Strahd could control a pocket dimension within his domain.
So
And,
I get the feeling that any sort of dismissal of this creature the resummoning would be under Strahd's orders.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. The elevator gets down there now, and Canas and Dione, you've been waiting a little bit now at this point, but the elevator's there, and you could take it back up or not. I know, Canas, you stepped out for a moment.
Yeah, I'll go up. Maybe not
Okay.
in the second group, but I will go up.
I will shout
Evgeny
down.
is... Oh, you want to go down?
I want to shout out, shut the door before you all come up.
I am going to say telepathically to Yune, it seems that we may be spending some time in this tower. Unfortunately, because of the magical suppression, if you came in, you would disappear. So you're going to have to stay out here for the time being.
I understand, Canas. I'll stay out here, and I'll keep a bird's eye view of what's going on.
Wonderful. Find some place to perch and enjoy yourself.
You got it.
Also, if you see anything, well, hold on a second. I go inside the tower and I try to speak to Yune.
Well.
I feel like that's our answer.
Well, is that our answer?
The silence is so
Shut-
loud.
I leave the tower and I say, well, I was going to say, let us know, but it doesn't appear that you'll be able to let us know anything.
Let you know what?
Oh, don't worry about it, Yune. Stay safe, and we will be with you perhaps in some time.
Okay.
So Yune
From the-
will watch from a distance and keep an eye out.
From the top floor, can I see the causeway pretty clearly?
Very well. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. However we end up posting up for the night, I want to keep an eye on that. I don't trust those mountain folk, not one bit.
Mm. Okay. So do you want to go up to the top floors, Yune, Dione, and Canas, or?
Yes, but before heading up, like once the door is shut, I want to try and see if there's any way I can kind of like bolt it or like put a plank of wood in like the door handle or push a crate up against it, something to like make it harder to open from the outside.
Yeah, you can make it harder to open. I mean, do you want to like put a crate like 5 feet within the square here?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so right up against it.
That's fine. All right, you head up. Irina, Camilla, and Evgeny will let you go first, so you can join up top. And Evgeny even suggests that he'll wait outside. I don't like these cramped places, so he'll head outside. I'll bring Dione and Canas up the floors. So there's the second floor. Oh, I just made you small. Third
Even
floor.
Stouter.
And fourth floor.
It's like a real elevator.
Yeah. And I
Well-
definitely messed
well,
your tokens up, so.
While they're
There we
doing
go.
that, can I be investigating that piece of paper?
Yep, you can investigate it. Give me an investigation check.
Can I peer over his shoulder and help him try and look at it?
Yep.
So with advantage, 8.
It's too hard to tell. It's burnt and charred. The only letters are Kazan that you can see on it.
Perhaps Canas can help with this. It's clever with these things.
Yeah. So now you're all in this room, and like I said, this looks like where somebody has been staying. And you investigate the paper. Canas, if you'd like to roll, you can. Dione, is there anything you'd like to do now that you're in this top room?
Well, I smell a delicious floral scent of lavender. So my nose will take me over to the chest from which the lavender aroma is emanating.
Yeah, there's a chest here.
And I presume I notice immediately that it's locked. So can I first, like, I'm still like quite in a bad way. Like I'm bloodied. So I want to check very thoroughly for traps.
Sure, go ahead. Give me an investigation check. Sorry, it would be perception to notice the trap. Investigation to see if you understand how it works.
Can I cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on Dione also?
Sure, yeah.
It doesn't
Mm.
work.
Yeah, there's no magic. Yeah.
You cast it, Laurent?
If I forgot, Laurent forgot. Like I would go to cast it, and like an idiot, it doesn't work.
If it's up to you, I'll let you police that. You're in the moment, and yeah, maybe you would forget it. It's up to you. Though. I'll let you.
I feel like it's completely plausible that he would have forgotten. So that's
I
I'm okay with using
appreciate
the spell
that.
slot.
I
No, yeah, makes
appreciate
sense.
that. I appreciate that. That's cool. All right, taking one for this story. I like it.
My
Dione.
perception check was a crit fail, by the way. So
It does not appear trapped.
okay.
Wait a
Dione.
second. Wait
Oh,
a second, Dione. I try and give myself 1 lay on a hands point, which is
Oh,
not
you really
technically
gotta.
magical.
We gotta test this magic here.
We are testing the limits of no magic in this tower for
There's
sure.
a pool of healing power.
This is not just any magic. This is magic from the Gwain Lord. You have to understand, Bob.
So, from what I'm seeing, is that it does work because it is not classified as a spell or magical ability. It is a.
Okay, great. I see.
It is
Go ahead,
considered a
Dione.
non-magical healing ability. From what I
well,
can
go
see.
ahead,
Yeah.
Dione. You will be safe.
How much lay on hands?
1 point for me.
1 point for you, and what about Dione?
No, I would heal her if she gets knocked out.
Oh, you're not actually healing her. Okay.
Oh, no. I don't know if it works on werewolves.
We don't do preventative care here. Come on.
I start.
All right.
Wow.
What am
I
I?
don't have any werewolf lay on hands points.
Sorry. What am I looking at, Bob?
You're looking at a piece of paper that's charred and burned.
But the words Kazan are visible across the top.
Okay.
It looks like a piece of a journal.
And what was I supposed to roll?
Investigation.
Investigation.
Well, terrible at that too.
Well, Rufus seems to think that this is your expertise.
Yep. Investigation. 7.
Nah, you're not sure. Dione, do you want to open up the chest?
Sure. Dione will look at Rufus healing himself with envy, and then he'll
It's
just
Yep.
shrug and turn back
I can
to the
heal you
chest.
if it hurts you.
Sure. You want to open it?
She clutches her side as the 3rd degree burns expose her muscles and flesh. And then, yeah, she's going to go ahead and attempt to open this lavender chest.
Okay. You don't have to attempt to open it. It is unlocked
Oh.
and easily openable.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then Dione will open it and jump back really quick. Just like flip the lid and like jump back 5 feet if she can.
You might want to because inside is a severed head. It is the head of a human and oddly enough looks like a Vistana. It looks like a man who had his head cut off with some sort of crude blade, and the flesh has a waxy complexion and has been embalmed with some sort of, technique. So it's not like
Wow.
dripping blood or anything like that. It seems like it's well preserved.
If I go take a look at the head,
What's
does it look similar to my face?
I mean, it doesn't look like you per se, but you have similar complexion and hair color. Yeah.
It's of your race.
I'm not a Vistana. But that guy definitely is, so
What?
someone's a racist.
Now I know that the everything is safe. I'm going to start donning armor, by the way, while people are doing other things.
The armor doesn't seem to come apart. It seems like it's held together by some sort of magical force.
Is there go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, you're walking around, you're checking the desk, your bed, the trunk, everything. Everything seems to be too, ordinary, except for the severed head. That's pretty weird. But everything else seems to be just nothing here. And then you hear Yevgeny from outside. Hey, In there! I believe we have a problem. And you look out the window on the top floor towards the causeway. You can see Yune flying up by the window, but not coming close enough to go to the anti-magic field, but like waving her arms and flapping her wings with some sort of anxiety. And you look out and you can see it. There is a disturbance. You can see out beyond the causeway, a pack of werewolves are approaching slowly. They seem to be in wolf form, and they're about to cut off your access to the mainland. You can see there's one werewolf, slightly larger than the others. It seems like he's in charge here. There are 7 wolves in total. And there's a howling in the air. Dione's hair, whatever's left of it that's been singed, also stands on end. And at this point, we'll pause it.
Gasp.
Werewolves in the night. The tower.
Kenny, get in here, Kenny.
Yeah, oh, he's going. Yeah, he's going. Yeah.
It's not even a full moon. This is nonsense. What?
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a intriguing one today, I would say. I didn't expect some of the things you to do. I'll be honest with you, like just simply trying to open the door, and then Michelle, great job with the dance moves. That was a good one.
Thank you. I never expected to contribute that to a D&D campaign, but there you go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I enjoyed this though because I like the intrigue that the Rictavio's tower brings, and clearly there's something going on here. Like I said, this anti-magic field seems like it fits in with some sort of, tower like this, but who is Rictavio and whose wagon was that? And what the hell's going on with these papers and Kazan, and more to come next time.
Kazan?
Who
All
is
valid
Kazan?
Questions.
And whose severed head is this?
Yes. We'll find out
Why
more
can't I
next
put the
time.
armor
Oh boy.
Yeah. And will Yune enter this building at some point? Who knows? More to come. We'll see you all next week on the tabletop. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Ooh, that music. You hear it? Getting intense.